Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You think maybe I should just try to lift the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from doing that. You then say, maybe if I bang on the lid, I'll unsettle the dirt, and people on top might start digging their way down towards me. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help. You know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, there are people standing by your grave. You just don't know that. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that maybe, just maybe, you might overdose? Take something away that God gave you called life. If that's not selfish enough, more selfishly, you'll take your life away from the people that count on you and love you most. Your mother, your father, your brother, sister, husband, wife, children, and grandchildren. With this, let me leave one last thought with you. Don't be like the person I read about on these index cards that waited and waited and waited until it was too late to get help. Instead, call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you, I will help you take back your life, for your life is gone. People like Larry Geis from the Geis Academy at 516-458-2741. Larry Geis and I always tell people like you that it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter where you've been. What matters most is that you're here today and you're looking for a better tomorrow. Larry Geis can be reached at 458-2741. That's 516-458-2741. Larry Geis and I will be waiting at the phones to help people like you. You can also find Larry at www.odysseyconsult.org. And if you need help, Larry will take you from your addiction to your recovery, from your depression to happier times, from low self-esteem to raising it. Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, 516-458-2741. Make sure when you take your slippers off at night, you don't just leave them at the edge of your bed. Stick them way under. That way, in the morning, when you wake up, you need to go on your knees to find those slippers. And what better time to ask God for guidance and direction than while you're on your knees? I call this knee mail. Try to do this each and every morning. Knee mail is a personal chat line between you and God. It is the time when you can thank God for sceneries like that. Thanking God for another day on this beautiful earth. It's the time where you should be asking God for guidance and direction and mercy and forgiveness. You can thank God for having a home, food, family. You can thank God for having your health. If you utilize knee mail each and every morning, you'll notice your life will improve 100% as time goes on. Utilize knee mail is speaking from your lips to God's ears each and every day. And when you're completed, put on those slippers and walk with God 24/7. And repeat the pattern. That night, put them under your bed. The next morning, retrieve your slippers and use knee mail. Let that be a whole brand new start for you. Now, we just spoke in the previous video about karma. So now we're going to talk about do unto others, verse meanings, and study. What does it mean to do unto others? Is there an application for the Christian to go by that analogy? Of course not. Luke's phrase, we find the phrase, do unto others in Luke 6:31, which says, and as you wish that others would do to you, do so to them. Jesus said this is in context of loving our enemies and doing good for those who hate us. Luke 6:27. But also to be blessed, to bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. Luke 6:28. Now it gets a bit harder, doesn't it? While Jesus is still speaking about our enemies, he goes even further by saying, do one who strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also, and from the one who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone who begs from you, and from one who takes away your goods, do not demand them back. Luke 6:29-30. His conclusion is, as you wish that others would do to you, do so to them. Luke 6:31. This means doing good unto others regardless of whether they do good unto us. This is doing unto others is not dependent on if they do unto us first. Doing unto others. Jesus continues in his teaching in Luke chapter 6 by giving us the reason that we are to do good unto others. He says, if you love those who love you, what benefit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what benefits is that to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you expect to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners to get back the same amount. Luke 6:32 through 34. If we only go to those we love, we are no different from the unsaved world. But if you love your enemies and do good and lend and expect nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for he is kind to the ungrateful and to the evil. Be merciful, even as your Father is merciful. Luke 6:35 through 36. Don't you want to be like the sons and daughters of the Most High? The poor cannot repay you, but God can. Solomon wrote, whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. Proverbs 19:17. And as you wish that, then start giving to others. We have at least 3 things that we can share that God has blessed us with. They are time, talent, and treasure. And we are stewards of these 3 things. We will have to give an account on what we did with what we received from God. Jesus tells us, give to everyone who begs from you, and from one who takes away your goods, do not demand them back. Luke 6:30. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the Proverbs. Matthew 7:12. Whatever we do for others is what the law was founded upon, and that which the prophets preached on us. And of course, the greatest giver of all was Jesus Christ, who gave his life for us. John 3:16. He did it expecting nothing in return for it. He made the first move. His grace extended to us. We are obligated to give back to others. And what are the rewards? We don't do unto others simply for rewards. We do good unto others because Jesus commands us to. Even so, Jesus still says, whoever gives one of these little ones even a cup of cold water because he is a disciple, truly I say to you, he will by no means lose his reward. Matthew 10:42. So just as you did to one of the least of these of my brothers, you did it to me. Matthew 25:4. Of course, the greatest reward of all comes at Christ's appearing, when the King will say to those who on his right, come, you are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Matthew 25:34. In conclusion, we should feel compelled, absolutely compelled, to help others because of what Christ has done for us. Would it be so hard to help someone when someone like Christ gave their life for us? We can never do what Jesus did for us, but we can help others with the simple 3 things that God has blessed us with. Even if they don't do unto you, you can do unto them all the good you can. Whether they're a believer or not, Jesus never made this statement conditional upon who is conferred upon. We are simply told to do this, and we are compelled to do this. Help other people. We spoke about karma first. This is what the Bible says. Let me ask you something, folks. Knowing that Jesus gave his life for you, not expecting anything in return, would it be asking too much to help that older lady with her garbage cans, to help a starving family with some extra food, to put some clothing on somebody's back, without expecting anything in return? Of course not. I always say, if I have a whole loaf of bread If I share a half, I still have a half a loaf. And the same thing applies to a full glass of water. If you give a half a glass away, you still have a half a glass. We need to stop being greedy with our own belongings and start sharing. This has been my philosophy now for a few years. When I have extra, I give. God rest my mother's soul, but every time I would see her, if I had even singles in my pocket, because singles to her was just like hundreds to you and me, I would just give it to her. Not even thinking, do I even need those singles? Because that's what God wants you to do. He wants you to help people. He wants you to show compassion and love to people. Start today. Utilize what I call an email. Pray to God each and every day. The most powerful thing in the world, more powerful than a king or president or ruler, is the power of prayer. Speak from here and he'll listen up there. But you have to speak from here. Let today be the first day of your new life. If you want to chat with me, talk to me, call me at 844-405-HELP, or you can text me at 631-599-029. I want to remind everyone, I keep hard copies of each and every video I do. If you call me at 844-405-HELP or text me at 631-599-0218, I will share a hard copy because I do read this off a teleprompter and sometimes I don't pronounce a word properly or I go too fast. So I can send you a hard copy and you can analyze my readings on this particular segment or any other segment that I've done. Call me, 844-405-HELP, and let me help you take your life back. And may God bless you.